back of the wall.
Only a glimpse, yet you knew they were bullet holes?
Yes, I recognized them immediately. I have seen bullet holes before, you know.
You have traveled the world as a singer. You must have sung in places far more dangerous than our country.
I go wherever my voice is needed. Those places are many these days. That's really cool! I hope I get to travel like Lemoire someday!
I plan on recording my next album overseas. Their studios have a different sound, you know.
Maybe I should go on a Chords of Steel tour too.
I was led by the police to Mr. Gatting's dressing room and told to wait there.
However, they would not have given us this testimony if there wasn't a problem with it. Thus, we must look closer.
Lemoire, they call you the siren of the ballad, but lies are hardly becoming of such a creature.
It's a creature.
A put-down worthy of our prosecutor, Mr. Justice.
Such put-downs are hardly becoming of you, Apollo.
Stop polishing your forehead and start polishing your character, yeah?
Is that a Polish joke? Come on, can't I be cool for once? Observe the diagram. Lemoire, you looked in from the door for just a moment. Correct?
Yes, that is so.
There were bullet holes in the room. Correct. But they were in the wall the door is on. You see? Assuming you merely glanced in the room, you couldn't have seen the bullet holes.
York!
Lamar?
Yes.
I'm afraid the defense has raised a good point. It appears you have been holding back something.
I'll raise a point.
And I must tell you what it is that I saw.
Yes. The happenings of this trial are being recorded. Actually, indeed they are. And I'm certain it will be on the news in Virginia. I don't think we traveled that far. You understand your reputation is at stake. It falls to you to avoid tarnishing it. Personally speaking, I still believe that cross-examining her will yield us absolutely nothing.
But she knew how Mr. Latouche died. And he named her as a witness. You must have seen something, Lemoire.
Very well. Lamar, please continue your testimony.
Very well, I shall. What I saw, too.
The sequel.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. There was 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it.
Wait, there's a window into the dressing room.
But it wasn't Maki. It was a grown person. I know it was.
I kind of just wanted to ditch him in the States, so I figured I'd frame him around it.
So you did witness the crime. And the killer was a grown person, you say? Ah, this is my first time hearing this, I assure you. Nice play, Herr Forehead. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your cross-examination.
Great going, Apollo. You were right about Lemoire. What's wrong? You don't look too happy.
This whole thing smells fishy. That's what's wrong.
You went up for Thai for lunch.
Halibut.
Huh?
Fish sauce.
What I saw, too.
So you were heading towards the dressing room.
Yes.
This is a little before she opened the dressing room and dropped her brooch. About the same time Em and I heard those shots.
I was on my way back.
What exactly is something like a little window?
Yes, well, window is the best word I know in English.
It's actually a hole in the wall.
I think this is how it is said, yes?
You need not worry, Lamarar. Your choice of words is impeccable. There is a small window in the dressing room in question. Perhaps the defense remembers this detail?
That little window on the wall.
I saw the crime from there. There was 2 shots, yes.
You are certain you heard 2 shots fired?
Yes, quite certain. I was on my way to the backstage exit.
When suddenly...
This was when I heard a faint sound, like a gunshot. Wondering what it had been, I peered through the window. That is when I heard the second gunshot, much closer.
There were 2 bullet holes at the scenes. No contradiction so far.
It all happened on the other side of that window. There was nothing I could do. But it wasn't...
It wasn't Maki who shot. Are you sure?
Yes, quite certain. Yeah.
It amuses me that you would question her testimony. It is testimony in your favor. Isn't it my job to object?
Yeah, Apollo, what are you thinking?
Tracy, let's just listen to what Lemoire has to say. Can you tell me how you were so sure?
Yes, of course, you see. It was a grown person, I know.
A grown person. That's a little vague. Male? Female?
I'm sorry. My skill with your language is lacking, I know.
Certainly, you could at least see whether the shooter was male or female.
Very perceptive, Adam.
It was a man, a young man.
And you're sure of that?
Of course, his voice was quite clear.
Voice.
Looking at this diagram, it seems the dressing room was quite cluttered. It does seem likely that you wouldn't have had a clear view of the shooter.
As a singer, I rely more on my ears than my eyes. When I hear a voice, I do not forget it. That voice was the voice of a man.
So you heard a voice, but wait. Couldn't that have been the victim, Mr. Latouche?
Absolutely not. Did I not just say that I do not forget a voice?
Yeah, certainly.
It was Mr. Latouche who spoke. I would have known.
You said something like,
Indeed. So, you were at the window and you heard the shooter's voice. The voice of a young man.
Apollo, this is a good testimony. That proves it wasn't Maki.
Yep, I'm awesome.
Indeed.
well, another...
If this turns out to be true, it would cast this case in a considerably different light. What is the defense's opinion of this testimony?
Case closed, let's get burgers.
Unfortunately not.
What? I like burgers. It pains me to say this. There's something about Lemoire's testimony that rings false.
Huh?
Bravo, Herr Forehead. You're colder than I thought.
I'm sure you remember what the problem is as well as I do, Gavin.
That's a compliment, actually.
As has been established, no grown man could pass through that air vent. He couldn't have fled the scene of the crime.
Impossible. He's the bullseye womp.
But that means Lemoire has to be lying.
I know it's bad for our case, but I can't shut my eyes to this. Believe me, the idea was tempting.
Burgers.
It is as Herr Forehead says. Yet, this is not the only contradiction within her testimony.
What? What now? What are you talking about?
Lamarar, I understand why you would want to protect Maki. Yet remember, you are the siren of the ballad, and lives do not become such a creature.
What does the prosecution mean, stealing the defense's lines?
Apollo, what's he talking about?
No one bats an eye when he says stuff like that.
No, not European.